Hey guys, hope everyone's doing well. This week has been pretty crazy. We've seen the current headline events around Charlie Kirk and the things going on there, and I'm not gonna say it hasn't had an effect on me. There's been just a heaviness about the whole situation, and I'm not going to get into whether I think it was fake or not, whether he actually died or not. I have my thoughts on it. I suggest anybody just pray about it. There's plenty of videos out there that break that down. However, I do see the stamp of the elites on it. The precisely 33 hours, which, they love to slap that 33 on it. And again, whether it was the elites taking out one of their own, or one of the things you have to understand with Freemasons is that you do have to make that motion across your neck, where if you ever get out of line, if you ever say something that is not right, then you're basically agreeing that they can take you out. Now, whether or not that's the case, again, I'm going to let you do your own research. Plenty of channels breaking it down for both sides, for that it was real, that it was staged, that it was not real. But I do want to talk about some things and just look at what it is, what we're actually seeing. So what we were shown was a man that has been going on college campuses for 10 odd years, I guess, and speaking out for moral behavior, speaking up what would most people would say, yeah, that's the Christian mainstream stance, everything that he talks about. And we saw him wearing a shirt that said freedom, and at an event put on by Turning Point USA. And we saw that person take a bullet to his neck and basically die in front of us. That's what we were shown. Now, if I just watched that in a movie and seen a character that was built up to that point and had that same kind of backstory and all, and for this to have happened to him, that would probably have an effect on me just watching the movie. It would definitely be something that would be moving by that movie. And I think regardless of which side you believe, that's kind of the whole point. It is to get this country to experience something on a grand scale. And they always love to do these things for some reason around this September 11th date. Happened back in New York in 2001. And we experienced it then, and the world was changed. There always seems to be some sort of agenda, some sort of mass trauma control event that causes people to start thinking or behaving or responding in a way that fits that narrative. And I think that's what we're definitely seeing that play out right now. Now, as far as what laws are going to be enacted, that kind of thing, I have no idea. I won't even begin to even think about what would come about as a result. But I do see parallels here to things that were done in Rome. Very public crucifixions that were there to make a statement to the masses. Don't get out of line. Don't you dare try to rise up against anything that we're doing right now. And it feeds into that narrative. It feeds into this division narrative where the perpetrator apparently has ties to the LGBT community, and I think we probably thought that was going to be the case just from the outlook. I mean, it looked like it was going to be that way. But the very definition of PSYOPs is that it influences the hearts and minds of the population. And these are done with these traumatic messages, these traumatic events, these things that you witness that are very, very traumatic. The media itself will loop the towers falling over and over again. And they do that so that those things are burned into your head. We have these things burned in our head. Everybody knows where they were on 9/11 when the planes. I can tell you exactly where I was. I was in a Pizza Hut that I was managing, and literally we shut down the restaurant. Everybody was glued to the TV that was up in the corner of the Pizza Hut. We were sitting there all around that booth and watching it. And that's what I think we're gonna have some similar instance around this event, at least for a lot of America, because this is the first. This wasn't Butler, Pennsylvania, where it just barely grazed him. And I have my own thoughts about that, but this we saw everything that supposedly happened. All of this makes the populations a lot easier to steer in a direction. And I'll say, even in our community, and I say our community, not necessarily the Mandela Effect community, but in the truther community, there's this divide now where if you believed it was fake and that he's still alive, you're coming down on one side. You've got the other side that believes it was real, and how dare you speak, say that this was fake and that kind of thing. And it's creating this divide even amongst the truthers. And again, that division, it's isn't just about the division for the people that wished him ill versus the people that didn't. But or mourning his loss. This is about the division of, like, hey, where do you reside? Do you believe that the psyops are real? And I believe to some extent that there are ritualistic sacrifices that occur to create this trauma in our population, to create these effects. And that's what we saw in Rome. Just look at history. That was what the Colosseums were about. Put these gladiators out there, let them fight, let them actually die. And yeah, that's put the Christians out there. Well, that's a Mandela effect now, but Christians being fed to the lions, supposedly that never happened now. But yeah, that was what Rome was doing. Even Nero, when Rome was burning, he blamed it on Christians. So they were the ones doing it. I guess that's one of first false flags, But I say all of this just for us to understand that the verse in Ephesians 6, it's, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, and against spiritual wickedness in high places. That's never been more true than it is now, guys. If we are truly in Satan's little season, which I think I lean heavily towards that, and if that is the case, this is a time of literally what's going to be the greatest deception ever pulled off. And we have to understand that could very well be the case right now. And we have to be ready for whatever that entails. So, anyway, I'm hoping that everyone is prayed up, just continuing to spend time with the Most High, spend time with the Father, and just speak to Him. Leave that heaviness at His feet, because He's really, at the end of the day, the only one that can carry it. And He doesn't really want us to carry that heaviness on our backs, because we can. So take care, guys. God bless.